Apple is quietly building pressure, and the next move could surprise everyone. Now, Apple did a lot better in today's session than most other stocks. As you can see, it pushed up pretty bullishly, and it just ended up in a range, okay? Now, traditionally speaking, ranges like to rotate, which is exactly what it's doing. But we can use this information to make some cash in tomorrow's session. So just be aware the most ideal situation is that we basically pull back and go higher, but we'll kind of cut into that just a bit more. If we find the midpoint of this overall range, which is going to be somewhere right around here, now we can use this as a center point and essentially find our two standard deviations, both above and below, and use that as the extremes of which this range can travel, okay? So that red up there is going to be resistance, and the soon-to-be green underneath is obviously going to be support. The midpoint is going to be this white color, and again, we're just rotating between the highs, lows, and back down to the lows. Now, another tool you can use once you figure out the range is the fact that you can use the distance above to assume the distance underneath. Okay, so in this projection, we can assume that the market is going to want to rotate all the way down to, let's just say, roughly 267 and a quarter. Okay, so that should look something like so. And it's not going to be very advantageous for us to look for sales at this point. We're going to realistically be looking for buys at this level. So just be aware if we get to 267, then we're going to be looking for a rotation now going back up to the prior high. Okay? Now, if you truly want to be a seller for tomorrow's session, we're either going to have to gap down on strength going significantly lower than that low, or we're going to have to just press down during the session showing momentum has clearly changed. And if that's the case, then okay. We can now switch our pathway to being bearish on the session as momentum now clearly showed its hand and it wants to be bearish today. So these are the most ideal projections for today. There's obviously for tomorrow, There's obviously some other variations that we could talk about, but I think that these are the two most important ones in determining how to trade this. The most important thing is that we can come down a bit lower for the bull case scenario, but again, too much lower than that changes momentum. So again, thanks for watching. See you in our next candle.